Another easy problem today, that is flip. Okay, so here you would be given binary string A with the characters 0 and 1. Okay, by flip what you are going to do is you are going to change the characters which is 0 to 1, 1 to 0, and your aim is to return the final string, okay, that has maximum number of ones. Okay, okay, you need to return the final string. That means you need to, here you need to return the start and end index of that string which has the maximum ones. Okay, that means you need to return the start and end index of the subarray where the number of ones are high, where the number of ones is maximum. Okay, so let's see what you would be given. So you would be given a string something like this. Okay, 10001. Okay, after you perform the flip operation, what value you are going to get is 1 is going to get converted to 0, these 3 zeros are going to get converted to 1, and 1 is going to get converted to 0 again. Okay, so what you need to return is you need to return the start and end index of the subarray which has the maximum ones, that is 2, 1, 4. So this is the first index, this is the second index. So start index of the subarray is going to be 2, then it's third index, then fourth index. So end index of the subarray is going to be 4. Okay, so this should be your output. Okay, so if you notice here one thing, that the number of ones in the original string, okay, that is this, okay, and this is getting converted to 0 in the flipped string. Okay, the number of ones in the original string is equal to the number of zeros in the flipped string, and the number of zeros in the original string is equal to the number of ones in the flipped string. Okay, and our objective is to return this maximized subarray of ones. Okay, this one. Okay, so guys, can't we visualize an approach, okay, which will make solving this problem easier? Okay, so why can't we just somehow ignore these zeros, okay, and only consider these 3 ones here for the given example? Okay, so like what we can do here is we can take Cardan's algorithm plus how to find the indexes of a subarray here to our advantage. Okay, I would strongly recommend you to go and watch my previous 2 videos on how to find the maximum sum within a subarray by using Cardan's algorithm, and how to find the start and end index of that subarray. Okay, because we are going to use that logic to our advantage here. Okay, so if you see, our goal is to find the maximum number of ones. Okay, so can you visualize something like if somehow we change this 0 to -1, okay, and this, okay, change this 0 to -1 and let the ones be as it is. Okay, okay, so what will happen is if we use the maximum sum within a subarray concept here, automatically this zeros is going to be ignored. Okay, how to do this? Okay, suppose the string is given here, suppose the string here is 10001 as it is given here. Okay, now what we can do is, as I said, can we somehow ignore this 0 by using the maximum sum of the subarray concept? Okay, so what we can do here is we can convert this 1 to -1. Okay, where there is 1 in this string, let's change it to -1, and where there is zeros in the string, okay, where there is zeros in the string, okay, let's convert it to 1. Okay, because the problem says you need to return the start and index of a subarray where the ones is maximized. Okay, so these zeros will anyhow get converted to 1. Okay, however, instead of converting this ones to 0, let's convert it to -1. Okay, okay, because anyhow we need to return the subarrays start and end index where the ones are maximized. Okay, so if you create another string or an array list where in place of 1 you put -1, in place of zeros you put ones, in place of zeros you put ones, and again in place of 1 you put -1. So what's going to happen here is, if you see my previous video on how to find the max sum of a given subarray, so automatically by using that approach we can ignore this -1 values. What we did in the code to solve this problem. Okay, so we have a main class, so where within the main method we have the input string like this one. Okay, we are creating the object of the solution class which has our code implementation. Okay, we are creating an array list. Okay, and which is holding the output of this get flip method. Okay, get flip method is defined in the solution class within which we have written our code to solve this problem. Okay, so we are passing this input string here. Okay, if output is empty, then no valid flip operation is performed, because the question already has a condition that if you don't want to perform the operation, then return an empty array. Okay, else if flip is performed, then you need to return the start and end index. Okay, this is a popular interview bit question. Okay, so there you need to simply implement this function here, simply implement the body of this function here. I hope like their main method would be something like this. I'm assuming it to be something like this. Okay, but you need to simply write this piece of code there. Okay, or your own code, whichever you feel it's better. Okay, so what we are doing here is we are having a variable called maxsum which holds the least integer value that is possible, that is -21474833648. I have already explained this in my previous video. I am creating a current sum, then start index, then end index is equal to -1, and this 3 is 0. Okay, I am also creating a flag called boolean. Okay, I am creating an array list of integer type called answer list, which will hold the start and end index. Okay, as I explained here, if the string has 1, we'll put -1 in the array list. If the string has 0, we'll put 1 in the array list. So here we are looping over the string, and if the string has 1, we are putting -1 in the answer list. If the string has 0, we are putting as 1 in the answer list. Okay, now let's see an interesting case here. Okay, here I have put something as flag is equal to true. Okay, that means what? If this condition will get executed at least once. Okay, if this if condition gets executed at least once, so the flag will hold true. Okay, if this if condition doesn't get executed at least once, then it will remain false. And what would it mean? It would mean our input string doesn't have 0, it simply has ones. Our input string has only ones. Okay, then what should we flip it to? We'll flip it to 0. Okay, I'm sorry, if our input string has only 1, then what should we flip it to? We'll flip it to -1. Okay, but here are we flipping anything to 1? Our problem says you need to return the subarray which has the maximum ones, where ones are maximized. But if our input string simply has ones, okay, we'll flip it to we change it to -1 in the answer list. Okay, there is no 0 in the string which needs to be flipped to 1. Then if we don't flip anything to 1, then what should we return? Okay, then there would be no subarray which has maximized ones. Then what should we return? Okay, we'll return an empty array list then. Suppose this doesn't get executed. Our string has zeros which we need to flip to 1, so we'll proceed to the next part. Okay, so in order to understand this, I am again repeating, please watch my previous video on how to find the maximum sum of the subarray, maximum sum of the subarrays in a given array, and how to return the start and end index of that subarray. Okay, do watch those videos or else you will find it difficult to understand it here. Okay, so let's proceed. So we are looping over the answer list and we are calculating the current sum. If current sum is greater than max sum, we are assigning max sum to current sum. Our start index is going to be start. Okay, start's value is initially 0. Okay, later it gets changed here, that I'll explain, and end index is equal to I. Okay, why end index is equal to I? Okay, why end index is equal to I? Suppose you have an array list something like this. Okay, something like this array list, right, which holds the value after the code till this executed. Okay, so suppose I is 0, so your end index always will be 0. If I is 1, your end index always will be 1. Okay, suppose I is 2, your end index always be 2, in that way. But that is not the case with the start index. Okay, how? Why? Let's check the same example. Okay, suppose your start index is here and end index is also here. Okay, so let's see, like, what will be the start index? Okay, so your first subarray is going to be this, then this, then this, then this, then this. Okay, let's consider a case where your subarray is going to start from here. Okay, so your first subarray is going to be this, second subarray is going to be this, third subarray is going to be this, fourth subarray is going to be this. Okay, so what's the end index here? 1, end index here 2, end index here 3, end index here 4. So end index is the same as this I. It's going on increasing as this I increases, and it is the same as I. Start index here. So the start index here remains constant as 1. You are getting me? The end index keeps on increasing as the I increases, but the start index of the subarray remains constant as 1 here. That means the 1th index. Okay, so like how to calculate the start index, we'll see it here. Okay, so if current sum is less than 0, so why I am doing this here? Please watch the max sum of the subarray, maximum sum of the subarrays problem. Okay, using Cardan's algorithm. Okay, so if current sum is equal to less than 0, we are simply discarding that current sum, because if you carry it, then your total sum's value is going to decrease. Okay, so we are assigning current sum as again 0. Okay, and here, okay, we are calculating the start's value. Start is equal to I plus 1. Okay, why? Because if the current sum is negative, okay, so if you have an array something like this, okay, if you have an array list something like this, and if your current sum is negative, so here it's negative and here it's also negative. Okay, so if your current sum is negative, okay, then your next subarray is going to start from the next index. Am I correct? So if your current sum is negative, suppose here also it could be negative, here also it would be negative. So current sum here is negative. Your next subarray is going to start from the next index, that is from here. If your current sum is negative, then your next subarray is going to start from the next index, that is from here. So if the current sum is negative at the index I, your next subarray is going to start from I plus 1, and this is the value that we are using here. Okay, okay, I hope you are able to understand what I am trying to explain. You can take a pen and paper and start iterating over this problem, then only you will be able to understand what is going on here. Okay, and later what we are doing is we are clearing the answer list. Okay, because our aim is not to return the answer list, our aim is going to return the start and end index. Okay, as in the question also which is given in InterviewBit, you will find an array list. You need to return an array list consisting of the start and end index. That is why in this problem also we will be returning the start and end index by placing it in an array list. Okay, so our answer list till this point is going to have value something like -1 1 1 -1. Okay, and as we are going to return the start and end index by placing it in array list, so instead of creating another array list, I am going to clear it, because this has no use, because by this time we'll be having our start and end index. Okay, if end index is not equal to -1, by checking end is not equal to -1, we are ensuring that when a valid flip operation is found, then only we are adding the start and end index to the array list and returning it. If that's not the case, we'll return an empty array list, because we're clearing the array list here, and we'll return it if no valid flip operation is found. If valid flip operation is found, we'll add the start and end index and simply return the array list. Okay, why we are adding +1 here? Because we are solving this entire problem by using zero based indexing, but we need to return the answer in one based indexing. Okay, so let's see how our code executes. How the code executes. Suppose we have a string called 104011. Okay, so let's see what output you will get. You will get 2 and 5. Okay, this one. Okay, this subarray, because this is going to be flipped to ones and this has maximum ones. Okay, suppose our array has only ones. As I said, if your string already has only ones, then there is nothing remains to get flipped to 1. Okay, there is no 0 which you are going to be flipped to 1. So if your array input string has only ones, then there would not be any valid flip operation. So let's see what is their output. So no valid flip operation performed. Okay, for those who are watching this video directly without watching the previous 2 videos on maximum sum subarrays and how to find the start and end index of the subarray, would be finding it difficult to understand, please go and watch the previous two videos. It will be very easier for you to understand this approach. Okay. So what's the time complexity of this? Okay, its time complexity is going to be big O of n. Okay. I hope you are able to understand this video, what I am trying to explain here. If you find that this code has any issues, please let me know in the comments. Please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.